Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Wednesday, the 5th of August. Indian court issues non-bailable warrant against former IPL chief Lalit Modi. Pakistan Supreme Court upholds establishment of military courts. And opinion polls show Wickremeshinge as favourite for Sri Lankan Prime Minister. And now for all the details, the Pakistan Supreme Court has upheld a constitutional amendment which paved the way for establishing military courts in the country. The special tribunals were set up to try terror cases following the Peshawar Army school attack last year.
The Supreme Court on Wednesday dismissed a set of petitions challenging two recent constitutional amendments. It also upheld the establishment of military-administered special courts across the country which will look into terror-related cases. The Apex Court has, however, halted the execution of 6 militants who were handed down the death sentence by military tribunals. Pakistan Parliament had in January this year, through a unanimous resolution, adopted the 21st Amendment of the Constitution to set up military courts. The decision was taken to expedite the trial in terror cases following the Peshawar Army school attack in December, which killed 145 people, mostly students. However, many in the country, including opposition parties, had expressed reservations on the military courts, claiming that the government could use it against political opponents. Apprehensions were also raised on granting judicial powers to the already strong army.
An Indian court on Wednesday issued a non-bailable arrest warrant against former IPL chief Lalit Modi in a money laundering case. Modi, who has been facing a number of cases in India, currently lives in the UK.
The court order came in a plea by the Enforcement Directorate to summon Lalit Modi. Issuing the order, the court also asked the Enforcement Directorate that why hasn't Modi been arrested by the agency so far. Lawyers said the warrant will be forwarded to the authorities in UK, where Modi currently lives.
We will collect the warrant from this court, and thereafter we will go to the Home Ministry of our country, which will forward the warrant to the United Kingdom's Home Affairs Ministry, and from there he will be arrested and he will be brought in India.
Modi, who is widely regarded as the brain behind the highly successful Indian Premier League cricket tournament, had fled India in 2010 after coming under the scanner for tax evasion and scams related to the tournament. He has refused to return to India, saying he fears for his security in the country. He has also become the centre of a political battle between India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the opposition after allegations emerged that Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj helped Modi to attain travel documents in UK last year.
The admission of a former chief of Pakistan's Federal Investigation Agency that the conspiracy of 2008 Mumbai attacks was hatched in the country has vindicated its stance. India has claimed Pakistan has for long denied of any involvement in the attack.
In what has turned out to be a major embarrassment to Islamabad, Tariq Khosa, the former director of the FIA, has admitted that the attacks on Mumbai were launched from Pakistan. Khosa was the head of the investigation team in Pakistan which probed the incident. In an editorial to a Pakistan daily, Khosa claimed that militants who carried out the attack were trained in Pakistan's Sindh province and they were launched to India through sea. He also said that the investigators in Pakistan had identified the control room in Karachi which directed the operations. This is for the first time that anyone in Pakistan has admitted of its soil being used to carry out one of the biggest terror attacks India has ever witnessed. India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party said Khosa's statement legitimizes the claims New Delhi has been making for long.
भारत की इन्वेस्टिंग एजेंसी मुंबई पुलिस ने पहले से ही इस बात के बहुत ही पुख्ता सबूत, बहुत ही ठोस सबूत जिस बात के लिए इकट्ठे किए थे कि उसमें पाकिस्तानी लोगों का उसके अंदर हाथ है। FBI ने अमेरिका से उन लोगों से हमको मिला था, आपको वॉइस सैंपल वगैरह जो मिले थे उससे मालूम चला था कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर उनके जो हैंडलर थे, इनके हैंडलर वो पाकिस्तान के अंदर बैठे हुए थे।
Heavily armed Lashkar-e-Taiba gunmen went on a rampage in Mumbai in November 2008, killing 166 people, including 6 Americans. India had also raised suspicion of the involvement of personnel from ISI, Pakistan's premier spy agency, in the incident. Defense analysts felt that Khosa's admission has given credibility to India's claims.
There were a lot of inputs already that certain serving officers were involved in guiding the terrorists while the attack was going on. This is another authentication from a Pakistani source of the complicity of the Pakistani security agencies or intelligence agencies in this heinous act.
Pakistan had arrested LET commander Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi in 2009 and 6 others in connection with the case. A Pakistani court had in April this year granted bail to Lakhvi, citing prolonged delay in the trial, a move which drew sharp criticism from India. Prime Ministers of India and Pakistan, who met in Russian city of Ufa last month, had agreed to expedite the trial in the case.
Newly appointed Afghan Taliban chief Mullah Akhtar Mohammad Mansoor has rejected any peace talks with the government. This comes even as the split within the top ranks of the militia is becoming more evident by every passing day. A report.
A day after the Afghan government clarified that it won't hold separate negotiations with Taliban factions, its newly appointed Supreme Leader Mullah Akhtar Mohammad Mansoor has denied that any peace talks have taken place between his group and Kabul. Mansoor's statement comes as a blow to the Afghan government, which had succeeded in holding talks with the insurgents last month, the first of its kind in nearly 14 years. The second round of peace talks, which was scheduled for last week, was called off following the confirmation of Mullah Omar's death. Meanwhile, Atta Muhammad Noor, the governor of Balkh province, has warned of a split within the Taliban due to the power struggle. The former warlord also claimed that Afghanistan should try to defeat the militia, which is weakened by the death of Omar. His statement comes at a time when the voices of dissent among the Taliban is getting louder against the appointment of Mansoor. Some key commanders and Omar's family has publicly denounced the new leader. They had instead suggested the name of Omar's eldest son, Mullah Yaqub, for the job. However, there were reports that the 27-year-old was killed in a recent attack in Pakistan's Quetta. But top leaders of the Taliban have rejected the claims and said he is being held in house arrest on the behest of Mansoor.
Myanmar has sought international assistance to cope with the widespread flood situation in the country. The disaster has claimed at least 47 lives in the last 2 weeks.
As Myanmar continues to reel under severe flooding, authorities have appealed for international assistance to help provide food, temporary shelter and clothing for the victims. According to the government, more than 210,000 people have been affected by the flood. The disaster has killed dozens of people, even as there is a lingering fear of rise in the death toll. The flood caused by the incessant monsoon rains has left a trail of destruction across Myanmar, destroying hundreds of houses and flattening swathes of crop plantation. The lifelines of Myanmar have been badly damaged as landslides have cut roads and bridges have been swept away by torrential rains. Government has declared 4 areas, namely Rakhine, Chin, Sagaing and Mogwai, as natural disaster areas. Rescue teams are working on war footing to evacuate stranded residents and provide them with relief material. Although Myanmar is prone to landslides and flash floods due to monsoon rains, this year has been the hardest hit in recent times.
Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremeshinge has emerged as the favourite for the upcoming elections. An opinion poll has shown the island nation will vote later this month to elect its new parliament.
Current Prime Minister and United National Party's candidate for the post in the upcoming election is the most favoured for the job, a pre-poll survey has shown. According to the opinion poll by Social Indicator, 39.8% of the participants rooted for Ranil Wickremeshinge as their Prime Minister. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has managed to get the backing of 27.5% of participants. Among the provinces, the Western, Central, Northern, Eastern, Northwestern, Uva and Sabaragamuva support Wickremeshinge, while those in the Southern and North Central provinces supported Rajapaksa. As the election battle is heating up, the Commonwealth has sent a 9-member observer group to monitor the polls. Commonwealth Secretary General Kamlesh Sharma said he expected the country to hold a credible election.
The EU and SAARC have also sent observers to monitor the polls. The island nation will vote on August 17th in a single-phase election to all its 225 seats. Crucial polls are widely seen as a comeback bid for former President Rajapaksa after tasting defeat in the presidential elections in January.
British boxer Aamir Khan said he is overwhelmed by the support from fans in Pakistan. The Pakistani origin boxer is in the country on a private visit.
Pugilist Aamir Khan took time off to meet his fans in the city of Lahore on Tuesday. Khan, who is visiting the country of his origin, received a euphoric welcome from his admirers. He said that he was elated by such love and affection.
I've been talking to people while I've been in Pakistan, and they've told me that when Aamir Khan fights, the streets of Pakistan stop. The people in Pakistan, people in Pakistan they go crazy. And one thing I want to say is thank you for that, because obviously I live in England, I fight in America, and I didn't know I had so much support in this country. But they told me, Aamir Khan has the biggest support. It's like Pakistan in the World Cup cricket when Aamir Khan fights in the finals.
The World Boxing Council silver welterweight champion, who had in his previous trip to the country pledged his support in rebuilding the Peshawar Army School, said this time he wanted to help destitute children in Pakistan.
I want to build an orphanage here for the young people, for the young kids who have single parents or no parents. And doing charity work, I think we all should do charity work. It makes me feel so much better when you do charity.
Khan had arrived in the country with his family last week and also visited the shrine of Hazrat Dataganj Bakhsh. 28-year-old Khan is the son of Pakistani parents who migrated to the UK.
An Indian girl who has been stranded in Pakistan for over 13 years will be brought back to the country soon, the government has said. Her story had gained attention for the efforts of a prominent Pakistani rights activist to reunite the girl with her Indian family.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj thanked the Pakistani authorities who took care of 23-year-old Geeta, who has been living in Pakistan for over a decade. Swaraj also said that the girl could be brought back to the country in the next couple of days. Earlier on Tuesday, India's High Commissioner to Pakistan, TCA Raghavan, had met the speech and hearing impaired girl in Karachi. Raghavan said all efforts are being made to locate her family in India.
मेरा आने का यहाँ पर मकसद ये था कि मैं जितनी जानकारी हो सके उसको हासिल करूँ और हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि गीता की फैमिली को हिंदुस्तान में, गीता के परिवार को हिंदुस्तान में जल्द से जल्द खोज निकालना.
Geeta has been living with a charity ever since 2003 when she was discovered stranded in Lahore by Pakistan police. Prominent Pakistani human rights campaigner Ansar Birni has been trying to reunite Geeta with her family since 2012. Authorities at the charity believe she could be from Jharkhand or Telangana provinces.
नक्शे के ऊपर ये दो इलाकों के जो है वो दो इलाकों पे जो है वो पॉइंट करती है. एक जो है वो तेलंगाना का जुनूबी इलाका, तेलंगाना का जुनूबी इलाका, और एक है झारखंड का जुनूबी इलाका. और जो है कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जो है वो ढूंढ सके कि कहाँ की है ये रहने वाली.
Geeta's story gained prominence after the release of Salman Khan's starrer Bajrangi Bhaijaan, which talks about a similar story.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian court issues non-bailable warrant against former IPL chief Lalit Modi. Pakistan Supreme Court upholds establishment of military courts. And opinion polls show Wickremeshinge as favourite for Sri Lankan Prime Minister. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.